You have.
What is the difference between manipulation and motivation?
Okay, now let's take this example in a business scenario. Usually when you try to sell something to even let's take your customer. Most of the businesses, they do try to, I mean, that's how they think sales works, but they try to push it and make the sale at the moment so they can get their commissions, right? If you, in any field, let's say you sell cars and or whatever, furniture, and you motivate your, it's one of the scenarios, because motivation, there is, let's say, manipulation. There is good manipulation, there is bad. If you don't want your child to hurt, sometimes you can, basically manipulation, it's lie, right? You lying to somebody to achieve your goal. So you trying to, the biggest difference, it's when you try to get energy for yourself, to save or to get. When you motivate, you try to give energy to other people. That's the main difference. The exchange of energy in universe, it's like rule number one. You have to exchange energy. You have to give and take. So both of them have to be also balanced. You can't do too much in one or too much in the other one. But when if you don't want your child to hurt, sometimes you tell them, some things that is not true, but it's good manipulation. But if you try to sell something to product that you know in long term is not going to be good, you try to manipulate the customer, right? Now, let's take it deeper. And what is, why people, what is aftertaste? When you taste something, after a while, you have that aftertaste, right? Now, when you buy a wine for $10 and there is a wine for $10,000, and do you know the difference?
The taste is going to be different.
Well, the taste sometimes not big difference, but
the products they're using to make the wine.
Also, it's grape. Over there grape and over there grape. But the difference that why they pay, they take wine for $10,000, they pour it in the glass, and they oxygenate it, so oxygen can get in there, and you try, you don't drink it, you just try, you kind of rinse your mouth, you spit it out, you don't drink it first. If you feel the taste 5 to 7 seconds after you spit it out, it's okay wine. If it's 7 to 10 seconds, it's good. 12, 15 seconds, it's one of the most expensive ones. It's the best. That's why they pay that aftertaste. So the aftertaste, that's what costs the money. That's what people actually enjoy, and they want to feel good afterwards. When you buy something and after 2 days it breaks down, as a salesman, he doesn't care because he's motivated only on a sale, but he's not motivated in long-term goals. He wants to have a relationship with the customers. If it's big transaction check, maybe he sells, let's say, cars. Sometimes maybe he can have this relationship, but still, if it's just a salesman, it's not going to be interesting to think what customer gonna feel and enjoy after he takes the car out of his parking of the store. So he doesn't really care. But you need to motivate your staff that the customer has good feeling afterwards, so he can return. Now, if you don't care about that, then obviously I don't know how your business will survive. Even if it's houses, even if you sell a house, if it doesn't return, your customers, they don't buy a house every 5 years, but they refinance it every couple of years. So it's not going to come to you if you left him that aftertaste. It feels, deep inside, you feel that you've been manipulated. You know, right, what I mean? Deep inside. So you're going to come back to the same business? Okay, so that's why you have to think that this wine, that's why a person pays $10,000. And that's what makes also big impact in the business. Now, so it's not easy to it's not easy to motivate your staff on the long run. Customers has to be happy, but if you can do it, usually it's not really focus of the salesman or customer service person. You shouldn't be focusing on that. As a general manager and supervisor, they need to focus. So I'm talking about them. I'm not really talking about staff that are under supervision, like salespeople or customer service. We're not talking about them. So that has to be his focus of general manager, that every customer that leaves, he has to have this aftertaste. If you just manipulate your customer, you just want to sell him, that's first thing. But even if he doesn't come back to refinance or buy another car, he's gonna, most likely, he's not gonna tell his friend to come back to your store, right? And word of mouth, even if we sell mostly online, even all businesses online, word of mouth, it still works. People still, would you suggest to somebody if you've been manipulated and lied? Okay, so obviously they're not gonna able to use that word of the mouth, which is also brings a lot of revenue. I mean, brings a lot of business. You understand? Mm-hmm. So now it's really deep topics, both of them, but it's just, I'm just covering like a little bit so you can have main idea, because sometimes manipulation is good, as I said. Sometimes motivation is not as good as you think. You think you motivate, but you really, you come, you see your staff, you cheer them, come on guys, hurry up. You think you motivate them, but they don't want to do nothing, because you also have to take it and learn. Now, vector psychology that I cover, it also explains how people are different, and even motivation in every person sometimes is different. Some people, they care about the money, but it's not their main, you can say, goal. It's not their primary effect. For them, if you just give them if they feel good in your company, is more important than the money that they get. Some people, they don't care about that. They just need to get more money. Sometimes it's not good for business, but depends what position they take. Because some people, they just, as long as you pay him, the more you pay him, they don't care. Because so people are different. Dermal vector person, for example, most of the time, they think more about the money than values and relationship. There is other vectors that think more about, so people are different. So also, if you learn, you need to understand how to motivate. Maybe you don't even need to give him raise, but give him praise, give him, see that he feels important in the company. If he feels that, if he's gonna come to work tomorrow, and if he's not gonna come to work tomorrow, and it's gonna be the same thing for him and for the company, they don't feel kind of important. So every person has to be motivated with this, feels some kind of, that he brings something to the table, to the company. It's also important. We need kind of to show them. Sometimes it's manager has to do it, but the good leader of the company, if you CEO or general manager run big company, the biggest your main focus, it has to be teaching managers how to be leaders. If you can do that, then you can build Apple, Microsoft, or Google. That's the only way. There's no product, there's no service. I mean, niche is important, but it's secondary. You see, there is bunch of like Google, Uber, anything, but if you know how to make leaders in your company and motivate them instead of manipulate so they just do their job and you make money, in the long term you're not going to build Google or Apple. So that's more important than everything else, that relationship, that psychology, you can say. Understand?